sun dips low behind the skeletal trees of the old American farm, painting the sky in shades of burnt orange and purple. In the midst of the sprawling cornfield stands a solitary scarecrow, his straw-stuffed frame hunched slightly, a patchwork coat fluttering in the chill evening wind. He is called by no name, yet to anyone who has ever passed this land, he carries a silent story. Tonight, under the crescent moon, he seems almost alive, his button eyes glimmering with a quiet yearning. The scent of autumn dry leaves, cool soil, and smoke from distant hearths fills the air, wrapping the field in a cozy, almost magical embrace. As the wind whispers through the cornstalks, a soft voice seems to murmur tales of the past, harvests long gone, children laughing at Halloween, old townsfolk sharing legends of spirits that walk the earth on this hallowed night. You may notice, if you listen closely, the faint echoes of a fiddle playing a tune lost to time, drifting from somewhere unseen, threading the night with gentle nostalgia. Let your mind follow this melody, your breath slowing with the rhythm of the evening. You are here, safe, yet a part of this story, floating beside the scarecrow, feeling the quiet longing that lingers in the cool, amber-lit air. The scarecrow shifts slightly, as if sensing you. He has stood alone for countless seasons, witnessing joys and miseries alike. In his silence, he knows the secrets of the fields, the times when laughter once rang clear, when storms tore across the farmland, when choices made by unseen hands left echoes in the soil itself. Yet tonight, something feels different. There is a gentle stirring in the wind, a hint of movement, not of the cornstalks, but of unseen creatures, small and shy, drawn to the warmth of his quiet heart. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the field around you, the rustling leaves, the soft creak of fence posts, the distant hoot of an owl. Your body relaxes further. Each breath deepens your sense of peace, each heartbeat a steady guide toward calm. As you wander mentally among the golden stalks, notice the moonlight spilling silver paths across the ground, illuminating the scarecrow's patchwork coat, each stitch a story, each fray a memory of Halloween nights past. There is a subtle, calming magic here, one that whispers of forgotten rituals and traditions pumpkins carved, candles lit, and children's footsteps echoing across the earth, carrying laughter and whispered secrets. In this world, time slows. You are wrapped in a cocoon of comfort, yet tinged with the mildest chill of mystery, just enough to awaken your curiosity while keeping your mind serene. And as the night deepens, the scarecrow watches patiently, waiting, not with fear, but with quiet longing. His vigil is not meant to frighten, but to invite reflection, a soft meditation on the beauty of stillness, the gentle passage of seasons, and the hidden stories woven into every blade of corn, every rustling leaf, every shadow cast by the harvest moon. Let yourself linger here, breathing slowly, listening to the whispers, feeling the cozy embrace of the field, the calming, magical atmosphere wrapping around you like a soft quilt. And so, the story begins. As the scarecrow stands sentinel beneath the vast, starlit sky, your body is heavy with relaxation, your mind gently alive with imagery, and your heart calm yet intrigued. In this serene tension, you are ready to follow him into the nights of Halloween, where magic and mystery blend seamlessly, and where every step brings deeper calm. As the story flows, let your eyes remain closed, your body fully at ease, and your mind open to the coziest, most peaceful Halloween journey. Asterisk, as the Scarecrow remained still, standing alone amid the amber waves of corn. The air seemed to thicken with a gentle, mysterious energy. The leaves rustled softly, carrying whispers that were almost imperceptible, like faint voices recalling forgotten laughter and secrets from centuries past. Tonight, the field felt different. It was as if the very soil beneath him was aware of the subtle magic gathering in the darkness. Each gust of wind carried scents of cinnamon and fallen leaves, mingling with the earthy aroma of the soil, evoking a sense of cozy familiarity while hinting at unseen presences. Slowly, tiny silhouettes began to emerge at the edges of the cornfield, barely noticeable in the silver wash of moonlight. A fox with eyes glimmering like amber paused to sniff the air, and then from a shadowed corner, a small black cat slinked silently along the fence line, its tail flicking with cautious curiosity. These were not ordinary visitors, for their steps made no sound on the dried earth, and yet they seemed drawn by the soft warmth that radiated from the Scarecrow's quiet vigil. The night seemed to hold its breath as these creatures, neither threatening nor fearful, approached in a gentle, almost ritualistic procession. The Scarecrow's straw-stuffed limbs felt heavier in the cool night air, as though the memories of years gone by were settling into him. He had seen harvests come and go, watched children dance through fields on crisp October nights, and listened to the stories the wind carried from the distant towns. Tonight, however, there was something new, a sense of connection. The animals circled slowly, almost reverently, and the Scarecrow felt an odd warmth stir within his inanimate frame, a magical sense of companionship that he had never known. Imagine visualizing the soft crunch of leaves beneath invisible paws, the gentle sway of cornstalks in the night breeze, the distant hoot of an owl. Let your mind sink into this calm imagery, each breath deepening your sense of peace, each heartbeat aligning with the rhythm of the field. This is your safe space, where the coziest Halloween magic weaves itself gently into your imagination. The Scarecrow, once a lonely figure against the autumn sky, is now surrounded by subtle life that moves quietly, carefully, without disrupting the peacefulness of the night. Through the whispers of the wind, hints of old American folklore begin to emerge. Perhaps these nocturnal visitors are the spirits of harvests past, shadows of children who once played among the golden stalks, or memories of townsfolk who celebrated Halloween with lanterns and laughter. The Scarecrow senses their stories, feeling their echoes brush against him like a soft, invisible hand. And though the stories carry a tinge of melancholy, there is comfort here, reassurance, that even in solitude, one is never truly alone. As your body continues to relax, imagine the Scarecrow's eyes, stitched buttons glimmering faintly under the moonlight, reflecting both curiosity and gentle longing. The tiny creatures circle closer, creating an invisible bond of calm and curiosity. Each sound in the night, the sigh of the wind, the rustle of leaves. The faint padding of pulse becomes part of a lullaby, guiding your mind towards serenity. This is not a night of terror, but a night of quiet wonder, where the eerie touches the peaceful and the magical intertwines with the cozy. And so, under the silver gaze of the harvest moon, the first visitors remain near, casting fleeting shadows over the Scarecrow and the field. The story flows gently now, and your mind can drift, breathing slowly, feeling the tranquility settle deeper with each moment. Remember, every sight and sound you imagine is safe, each one part of this guided sleep meditation. Let yourself relax further, letting the magic of the field and the watchful, gentle presence of the Scarecrow cradle you in calm, as the whispers of the wind blend with your slow, steady breathing. You are ready to follow the next steps of the night's quiet adventure, deeper into the coziest, most peaceful Halloween journey. The moon climbed higher, its silver light spilling across the cornfield, casting long, wavering shadows that danced gently across the dry stalks. The Scarecrow remained still, his button eyes glinting faintly as he absorbed the quiet energy of the night. The wind carried not only the crisp scent of autumn leaves, but also subtle echoes of forgotten voices, murmuring from long ago. These were not ghosts meant to frighten. Rather, they were echoes of the land's memory, soft and melancholy, carrying stories of harvests, laughter, and the small sorrows of days that had slipped quietly into history. As the field stretched endlessly beneath the starlit sky, a delicate sense of anticipation settled in the air. Tiny shapes moved silently along the fence line, shadows of creatures curious and gentle, drawn toward the quiet sentinel at the field's center. You might imagine a small owl perched upon a wooden post, head tilting as if observing, or the flicker of a black cat's eyes catching the moonlight, tail curling slowly with quiet intent. Every rustle of leaves, every subtle whisper of the wind became part of the lullaby of the night, a gentle rhythm that guides both the Scarecrow and your mind into a state of calm awareness. In the stillness, the Scarecrow's patchwork coat seemed to absorb the memories of those who had walked this land before him. Children, once laughing and playing among the corn, had left traces of joy, while old farmers who tended the soil had left traces of care, hope, and quiet endurance. Now, the night carried a soft pulse of these histories. You can almost see the faint outlines of small figures at the field's edges, shadows of those who had lived here long ago, their movements delicate and fleeting, brushing past without disrupting the comforting calm. Let your imagination wander freely through this scene, feeling the coziest embrace of history, nature, and quiet companionship. The Scarecrow, Togsilen, seemed to respond to the whispers, leaning slightly as if acknowledging the passing echoes. And in this acknowledgement, a subtle warmth radiated from him, a magical sense of connection bridging time, creatures, and the night itself. Each step the small visitors took was gentle, respectful, a rhythm that aligned with your own breathing, slow and deep. With every inhale, you draw in serenity. With every exhale, tension melts away. Your body grows heavier, sinking into the soft embrace of the bed or chair beneath you, fully supported, fully at peace, while your mind wanders the mystical landscape before you. Through the misty veil of moonlight, the Scarecrow began to notice shapes in the distance, silhouettes of old wooden barns and weathered fences, remnants of lives long past. Perhaps tonight they held more than mere memory. They whispered cautionary tales of choices made, lives altered, and small tragedies hidden beneath the surface of daily existence. The wind carried a faint echo of a fiddle, a tune that once celebrated harvests and festivals, now a spectral melody floating through the night. Let the sound drift into your ears, soothing, melodic, a gentle reminder that even in the shadow of history, peace and magic endure. Imagine standing beside the Scarecrow, breathing in the crisp, cinnamon-scented night air, watching shadows play across the cornstalks. You are safe. Every whisper, every movement, every faint glimmer of light is part of a calm, guided meditation. The slight chill that brushes your skin is merely the night's gentle reminder that mystery can coexist with tranquility, that the eerie and the coziest moments can weave together into a seamless, calming experience. As the story continues to unfold, the Scarecrow's lonely vigil transforms into quiet companionship. Small creatures, shadows of the past, echoes of laughter and music, all gather in subtle, magical harmony around him. And as your breath deepens, your body relaxes further, and your mind immerses itself in this tranquil yet mysterious Halloween night, you are guided gently toward the next stage of the story. Every image, every sound, every feeling is designed to carry you safely and serenely deeper into rest. And so, as the night breathes softly around the Scarecrow, let yourself drift in step with him, in rhythm with the calm, magical, and peaceful world of this coziest Halloween sleep story. Asterisk. The night deepened, folding itself over the cornfield like a soft, velvety blanket. Moonlight spilled in silver streams between the golden stalks, illuminating the Scarecrow's patchwork coat, worn by countless seasons, yet full of quiet dignity. He remained still, a steadfast figure in the endless autumn field. Yet tonight he was no longer entirely alone. Shadows moved subtly along the edges of the field, delicate and careful, the silent visitors of the evening gathering in gentle curiosity. The air seemed to shimmer with a faint, magical energy, the kind that makes the ordinary extraordinary, the mundane feel enchanted, and the lonely become part of something larger than themselves. As the wind whispered through the cornstalks, carrying the crisp scent of dried leaves and distant hearth smoke, the Scarecrow became aware of a subtle rhythm. Tiny paws scurried softly across the ground, the lightest of footfalls brushing against the soil, while above, a barred owl's wings beat slowly, a soft whoosh echoing through the night. Even the leaves seemed to lean in, rustling gently as if eavesdropping on stories long forgotten. Every movement, every sound was a note in a lullaby composed by the night itself, guiding your mind and body deeper into relaxation, into the peaceful embrace of this coziest Halloween experience. The Scarecrow sensed the presence of history in every shadow, centuries of harvests, of children laughing in the crisp October air, of families lighting jack-o' lanterns and whispering traditions into the dark, all lingered in the soil and air. The subtle melancholy of unspoken stories added depth to the calm, a gentle haunting that intrigued rather than frightened. You might imagine yourself wandering among these echoes, your feet brushing the soft, dry leaves, your hands touching the rough, time-worn wooden fences, feeling the comforting texture of the past as it merges with the present. Each breath you take aligns with this rhythm, slow, deep, peaceful, guided by the gentle, magical energy of the field. From the far corner of the cornfield, shapes emerged, ethereal but benign. Perhaps a shadow of a fox paused to glance at the Scarecrow, ears twitching, nose sniffing the cool, fragrant air. A small black cat moved silently between the stalks, tail flicking with delicate precision, its gaze aware and intelligent, as if it understood the stories the wind carried. These creatures were more than companions, they were gentle guides through the quiet, almost sacred landscape, their presence lending a sense of wonder and connection. Each movement was soft, deliberate, part of the rhythm of the night that invites your body to sink deeper into comfort, your mind to wander calmly and freely through the magical scene unfolding around you. The Scarecrow felt the first hints of a story forming in the moonlight, a tale of small choices and quiet consequences, of fleeting joys and long shadows, of the delicate interplay between light and darkness, past and present. You can imagine this story unfolding alongside him, a pumpkin carved with care, candles flickering in the evening breeze, children's laughter echoing softly, yet tinged with the faintest melancholy. Even the tiniest events carry echoes, and in the field tonight, the Scarecrow stands witness, absorbing each nuance, each whisper of history, without judgment, only presence, only calm. Let your mind linger here a while. Feel your body fully supported, heavy with relaxation, each muscle soft and warm. Let the sounds of the field, the rustle of leaves, the distant owl's call, the gentle steps of creatures in the moonlight, guide your thoughts into serenity. This is your guided sleep meditation. A cozy, peaceful journey into a magical Halloween night, where history, nature, and quiet enchantment intertwine. Even as shadows lengthen and the chill of night brushes lightly against your imagination, you remain cocooned in calm, safe, and deeply relaxed. And so the gathering continues. The Scarecrow no longer solitaria, surrounded by the subtle, magical presence of unseen visitors. The night stretches ahead, a gentle, enchanting path, inviting you to drift further into tranquility, to explore the coziest corners of imagination and memory, to follow the rhythm of the Scarecrow's silent vigil. Every breath, every heartbeat, every whispered note of wind guides you closer to peaceful sleep. As the story unfolds, let your mind float effortlessly, merging with the magic of the moonlit field. And remember, this is your safe space, your serene journey, your coziest Halloween bedtime story. The night air grew cooler, carrying with it the faint scent of bonfires from distant celebrations, a whisper of pumpkin spice, and the earthy aroma of damp soil. The Scarecrow stood silently amid the swaying corn stalks, his button eyes catching glimmers of the moonlight, reflecting centuries of quiet observation. Shadows danced at the edges of the field, stretching and folding over the familiar shapes of the wooden fences and barns, creating intricate patterns that seemed to whisper stories of old choices, small decisions that had rippled through time, leaving echoes in both soil and soul. As you breathe slowly, letting your body sink further into relaxation, imagine walking alongside the Scarecrow, feeling the gentle crunch of dry leaves beneath your feet. The field is alive, yet calm, alive with the faint memories of those who once walked here. Perhaps it was a farmer deciding which row to plant first, a child choosing which pumpkin to carve, or a family deciding how to celebrate Halloween in times when life was simpler, yet fraught with its own quiet struggles. Each choice has left a mark, a faint shimmer in the air, as if the very night remembers these moments and carries them forward. In the soft glow of the harvest moon, fleeting figures appear among the corn stalks. They are neither threatening nor intrusive. They are echoes, shadows that carry the essence of past lives and decisions. A small rabbit pauses, ears twitching, sensing the history in the wind. A black cat circles slowly, its movements deliberate, eyes reflecting both curiosity and quiet understanding. Even the Scarecrow seems to absorb these stories, shifting slightly as if acknowledging the weight and beauty of these memories. The gentle rustle of leaves, the whisper of wind, the soft hoot of an owl, these sounds intertwine to form a lullaby, guiding both the Scarecrow and your mind toward deeper calm. The field stretches endlessly under the moon, each row of corn stalks a corridor of history. You can imagine scenes from long ago, children tiptoeing through the fields with small lanterns, townsfolk laughing softly as they recount tales of mischievous spirits, and farmers pausing to admire the fruits of their labor. There is a subtle melancholy here, a reminder that choices, even small ones, leave trace, but it is not a chilling fear. It is a comforting reflection, a quiet understanding of how lives and decisions interconnect. Let your mind wander freely through these images, your breath aligning with the rhythm of the night, each inhale drawing serenity, each exhale releasing tension. The Scarecrow's presence feels warmer now, not because he has changed, but because the night itself seems to embrace him and all who visit. The magical creatures, the echoes of history, the gentle rustle of the cornel converge in a quiet symphony that soothes rather than startles. As you imagine this scene, allow yourself to feel the coziest sensations of autumn, the crispness of the air, the soft glow of the moon, the faint scent of smoke and spice, and the comforting sense of being a silent observer in a world both magical and serene. In this stillness, the Scarecrow reflects on the weight of choices past, the gentle haunting of decisions and consequences, and the subtle beauty of lives lived quietly yet meaningfully. Your mind can mirror this reflection, exploring gently the interplay of history, nature, and the small but profound stories hidden in the folds of the night. Each whisper in the wind, each fleeting shadow, is a guide deeper into calm. Let your thoughts drift like the rustling leaves, light, soft, and unburdened, carried gently toward rest. And so, Beneath the silvered moon and amidst the whispers of old choices, the Scarecrow's vigil continues. The field hums with quiet life, shadows move with grace, and the air is filled with coziest, peaceful magic. Your body and mind, following this guided sleep story, relax further with every heartbeat, every breath, every gentle sensation. The night is yours to explore, serene and calm, as the Scarecrow's quiet watch leads you toward the final moments of this chapter, the gentle bridge to the coziest Halloween dreams. The moon had reached its zenith, casting a gentle silver glow across the cornfield, turning every leaf, every stalk, every shadow into a delicate dance of light and darkness. The Scarecrow stood firm, motionless yet alive in spirit, his patchwork coat fluttering softly in the cool night breeze. Around him, the subtle whispers of history continued to flow, echoes of laughter, echoes of sorrow, echoes of harvests and celebrations long past. The night seemed suspended, held in a perfect balance between calm and quiet mystery. Magical yet peaceful, a coziest realm for reflection and rest. Soft shapes moved among the corn, the small creatures of the night, weaving in and out of the silvery beams of moonlight. A fox's eyes caught the gleam of the Scarecrow's buttons, pausing briefly before disappearing into the shadows. Tiny owls perched on wooden posts, their heads tilting with gentle curiosity, watching over the field with quiet wisdom. Even the black cats, their tails curling and flicking, moved with an elegant rhythm, as if attuned to the heartbeat of the night itself. Each sound, each movement, each gentle rustle of leaves became part of a lullaby, guiding your body and mind deeper into relaxation, into a state of serenity and coziest comfort. The Scarecrow, though still and silent, seemed to feel the night's energy flowing through him. The whispers of the past mingled with the subtle magic of the present, weaving together a tapestry of stories of lives quietly observed, of choices made and consequences felt, of small joys that lingered in memory and sorrow that softened into wisdom. Imagine yourself walking slowly among the cornstalks, your feet brushing dry leaves, your hands touching the rough texture of fence posts, each sensation grounding you in the gentle rhythm of the field. Each breath you take brings a deeper sense of peace. Each exhale releases tension, leaving your body weightless yet comforted, your mind calm yet alive with imagery. The wind carried with it faint hints of old American traditions, the distant laughter of children playing on Halloween, the soft flicker of lanterns in windows, the smell of pumpkin and spiced treats. These small details, delicate and ephemeral, added layers of Coziest magic to the night, blending history, folklore, and the gentle supernatural in a way that was never frightening but quietly intriguing. The Scarecrow, watching over the field, seemed to absorb these layers of time and tradition, holding them within him like a patient guardian of memory and calm. As the story unfolds, let your mind drift further. Feel the soothing rhythm of the wind, the soft pulse of nocturnal life, the coziest embrace of moonlight and shadow. The Scarecrow's vigil is a meditation, a gentle guide, leading you into the peaceful recesses of imagination. Here, Even the slightest rustle or whisper is a note in a lullaby, a carefully crafted cadence that draws your body and mind into deep relaxation. Your thoughts float lightly among the cornstalks, brushing past invisible stories, soaking in the magical, calming energy of the night, and feeling safe in this serene world. Before the night concludes, the Scarecrow seems almost to nod, a silent acknowledgement of your presence. And as you imagine this, know that you are part of this coziest Halloween scene, watching, breathing, listening, resting. Let your mind linger on the gentle, magical companionship of the field, the subtle wisdom of history, and the quiet majesty of the night. And if you enjoyed this guided journey through the whispers of autumn, the gentle mysteries of Halloween, and the calm, peaceful magic of this sleep story, consider subscribing to Midnight Murmurs Radio, where more tales like this await to soothe, intrigue, and guide you into restful sleep. Your support helps us continue sharing these magical bedtime stories for anyone who seeks comfort, calm, and coziest Halloween journeys. That as the Scarecrow's form fades softly into the moonlight, let your mind follow, letting the story dissolve gently into the quiet rhythm of your own breath. Feel the warmth, the calm, the peaceful energy lingering around you. Let go of the day's worries and allow the coziest Halloween magic, the gentle history of the field, and the quiet companionship of the night to carry you into a restful, serene sleep. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The night had grown deeper, and the harvest moon hung low and luminous above the sleepy fields, casting long silver shadows that stretched across the cornstalks. The Scarecrow, still steadfast in his patchwork coat, seemed to absorb the magic of the night more fully than ever before. Beyond the field, the edges of the forest appeared, dark and inviting, whispering secrets only the brave or the patient could hear. Tonight, the Scarecrow felt a gentle pull, an invitation to witness not only the quiet magic of the cornfield, but also the hushed wonders of the whispering woods beyond. The air was cool and slightly damp, carrying the faint aroma of moss, pine, and the distant trace of a campfire from somewhere unseen. Tiny creatures moved silently among the shadows, foxes glinting with cautious curiosity, black cats weaving between roots and fallen branches, owls perched on gnarled limbs with knowing eyes. Every rustle, every soft footfall, every whisper of wind carried a story, a fragment of the past that had long lingered in these woods. Your mind, following along, begins to slow with the rhythm of the forest, each inhale drawing in serenity, each exhale releasing tension, letting the coziest magic of the night envelop you fully. The forest itself seemed alive, the trees leaning slightly as though to observe, their branches creaking softly in the night breeze. Shadows of old paths and hidden clearings appeared, glimmering faintly under the moonlight. Perhaps in another time, children wandered here, their laughter carried to the trees, their footsteps imprinting invisible memories into the soil. Farmers may have hidden small charms among the roots to protect their crops, or townsfolk may have walked these paths in secret during Halloween, telling whispered tales of spirits and mischief. The woods remember, as the Scarecrow does, and now you too are a witness, floating gently through this magical world. Imagine the gentle hush of the forest floor beneath your feet, the soft rustle of fallen leaves, the faint crackle of twigs under unseen paws. Every sound aligns with the rhythm of your heartbeat, steady and calm. The Scarecrow, still observing silently, feels a subtle shift in the era shimmer of past and present intertwining. Faintly, you sense old choices and lost moments brushing the edges of perception. A farmer who planted too early, a child who wandered alone too far, a festival that was celebrated quietly yet left deep impressions on the land. Each memory carries no fear, only a gentle lesson, a soft echo of life's intricate patterns. The creatures of the night, drawn to the Scarecrow's steadfast presence, begin to venture closer to the forest's edge. A fox pauses near a silvered tree trunk, sniffing the ground, tail curling delicately. A black cat stretches along a shadowed route, eyes glimmering with intelligence and curiosity. Above, an owl blinks slowly, wings folding against the silence of the night. The field and forest are no longer separate, merge seamlessly into a magical tapestry where history and subtle mystery coexist. Your body, heavy with relaxation, lets these images wash over you, sinking deeper into coziest comfort with each breath. Through the whispering woods, the Scarecrow senses a subtle energy, an almost musical hum that threads the night together. These woods are filled with the gentle residue of festivals past, of Halloween nights illuminated by jack-o'-lanterns and candlelight, of communities weaving stories of spirits and enchantment into their traditions. The magical presence is calming, almost tactile, wrapping around the Scarecrow and the creatures surrounding you as well. Let your imagination walk freely here, moping slowly, noticing every detail, the rough bark of trees, the faint scent of pine needles, the silver reflection of moonlight on leaves, the soft padding of invisible paws. Each sensation is part of this guided sleep meditation, gently drawing you into rest. As the Scarecrow and his quiet companions prepare to move deeper into the forest, your mind follows, calm and serene. The moonlight guides you. Shadows play along familiar paths, and every whisper, every movement, every rustle of leaves becomes part of the coziest lullaby, encouraging your body to relax and your mind to wander safely. This is a world of peaceful magic, gentle history, and quiet enchantment. And as the story flows, let yourself be carried along, breathing slowly, feeling each heartbeat, each soft sound, drawing you gently into a calm, restorative sleep. The forest grew darker as the moon drifted higher, its silver light filtering through the thick canopy in delicate beams. Shadows stretched and twisted across the mosquoved ground, creating patterns that seemed almost alive. The Scarecrow, still standing at the edge of the whispering woods, felt the gentle pull of the night drawing him and deeper among the ancient trees. The air was cooler here, carrying the crisp scent of pine and damp earth, mingling with the subtle aroma of fallen leaves. It was a comforting fragrance, familiar yet magical, inviting you to follow the rhythm of the forest in slow, deliberate steps. Tiny creatures moved quietly between roots and underbrush, their eyes gleaming faintly in the moonlight. A fox paused, tilting its head as if listening to stories the wind carried. A black cat slinked past silently, tail flicking with deliberate grace. Owls blinked slowly from high branches, watching with serene patience. Each movement, each rustle, each whisper of wind became part of the lullaby of the woods, guiding your mind and body toward deep relaxation. Imagine your breath sinking with this rhythm, slow and steady, each inhale drawing calm, each exhale releasing tension, carrying you further into the coziest embrace of the forest night. The Scarecrow's patchwork coat fluttered faintly as he shifted toward the trees, his presence calm yet alive with subtle energy. The whispers among the trees grew more distinct, carrying echoes of long-forgotten stories. Perhaps it was a farmer deciding the fate of his harvest, or children tiptoeing through the woods on Halloween night, lanterns flickering in their small, careful hands. Each memory was faint yet vivid, a delicate reminder that the past is never entirely gone, lingers in soil, air, and shadow. Let yourself sense these echoes, feeling them brush lightly against your imagination. Safe and serene, a gentle mist began to rise from the forest floor, swirling around roots and rocks, softening the shapes of the trees and adding a layer of mystery to the scene. The Scarecrow moved slowly through the haze, observing the faint traces of old rituals and traditions, jack-o'-lanterns once placed in hidden clearings, jams left to protect crops, and whispered stories of spirits long past all of these lingered in the night, harmless and magical, weaving a tapestry of coziest enchantment. Your mind drifts alongside him, noticing every detail, the glint of moonlight on damp leaves, the faint sparkle of dew, the sound of distant hoots echoing softly among the branches. The deeper the Scarecrow ventured, the more the forest revealed its quiet secrets. Twisted branches formed natural arches, moss-covered logs created gentle pathways, and shadows pooled in hollows that seemed to breathe with life. You might imagine the faint flicker of candlelight from a distant farmhouse, or the soft echo of children's laughter carried by the wind. These traces of human presence blend seamlessly with the natural magic of the woods, creating a sense of coziest mystery, peaceful and calming. Every elementa, wind, the shadows, the soft rustle of animal zacks as a guide, leading you gently toward deeper relaxation. In this serene yet subtly eerie landscape, the Scarecrow's vigil takes on new meaning. He is both observer and participant, absorbing the gentle echoes of choices past, the faint joy and melancholy of traditions carried through generations. Your mind, attuned to this rhythm, allows thoughts to float freely, untethered yet calm, drifting like leaves on a slow stream. Each inhalation fills you with tranquility, each exhalation releases tension, and every sound of the forest, the whisper of the wind, the soft padding of paws, the distant hoot of an owl becomes part of a peaceful meditation for sleep. As the Scarecrow pauses near a cluster of ancient oaks, the forest seems to exhale, the night's energy settling into a soft, coziest embrace. Your body feels heavy, supported, at ease, while your mind drifts through the magical, historical, and mysterious layers of the scene, the coziest, most calming magic surrounds you, carrying you further along this guided sleep story, deeper into a world where the gentle, eerie, and the peaceful coexist, and where each breath guides you closer to rest. And as the story continues, allow yourself to follow the Scarecrow deeper into the enchanted woods, your imagination fully immersed, your body completely relaxed, ready for the next part of this magical, serene journey. As the Scarecrow slowly ventured deeper into the whispering woods, the moonlight danced upon the mossy ground, illuminating patches of wildflowers and fallen leaves. The trees formed an archway above, their twisted branches creating a natural cathedral of shadows and silver light. Here, the forest was quieter, save for the subtle whispers of wind, weaving through leaves and the distant calls of nocturnal creatures. The air felt thicker with history, a gentle hum of lives that had passed through these woods long ago, each carrying their own secrets, joys, and quiet sorrows. A small clearing revealed itself, bathed in a soft glow from the moon above. The ground was carpeted with a mix of fallen leaves, dukist moss, and scattered pumpkin remnants from festivals past. It was as if the forest itself had carved out this space, a secret haven where magic lingered, coziest and most peaceful. The Scarecrow, with his straw-stuffed limbs and stitched eyes, stepped into the clearing slowly, absorbing the serenity and subtle energy that pulsed through the night. Around him, shadows of unseen creatures moved gracefully, watching, curious, yet respectful, maintaining the delicate balance of the magical space. The air carried the gentle scent of pine and earth, mingled with faint hints of cinnamon and smoke, evoking images of warm autumn nights and Halloween celebrations gone by. Perhaps children had once danced here with lanterns, their laughter echoing softly through the trees, leaving behind whispers of joy that lingered still. Maybe farmers had paused in this clearing, sharing quiet stories of the harvest, their voices merging with the rhythm of the forest, leaving traces in the soil and leaves. You can imagine these echoes brushing against your mind, comforting and serene, filling the coziest corners of your imagination with gentle, calming imagery. The Scarecrow's presence seemed to anchor the magic of the clearing, the subtle rustle of leaves underfoot, the soft padding of small animals' paws, and the occasional flutter of owl wings created a natural lullaby. Imagine yourself walking slowly, feeling each step cushioned by the fallen leaves, inhaling the crisp autumn air, and exhaling slowly, releasing tension from your body. Every breath aligns with the rhythm of the clearing, slow, steady, and peaceful, drawing you deeper into the coziest, most magical sense of calm. Among the trees, faint shadows shifted, forming shapes that hinted at past gatherings. A jack-o'-lantern, left behind and now soft by time, glowed faintly in the moonlight. A tiny wooden fence, weathered and moss-covered, hinted at boundaries long forgotten. Perhaps a family once celebrated Halloween here in secret, carving pumpkins and leaving offerings to unseen spirits, blending traditions with quiet magic. Each element carried a sense of history, a gentle story told without words, a peaceful presence that the Scarecrow recognized and respected. As you visualize this scene, Let the tranquility wash over you, feeling your muscles relax, and your mind wander safely through this enchanted space. The subtle hum of life. Continued. An owl hooted softly, foxes padded quietly through the underbrush, and the wind whispered through the leaves with delicate insistence. The Scarecrow stood amid it all, silent yet profoundly aware, a guardian of peace and memory in this hidden corner of the forest. You are free to drift alongside him, feeling the coziest blend of calm, magic, and history infuse your imagination. Every whisper, every shadow, every small movement is part of a gentle guided sleep meditation, coaxing your body and mind toward deeper rest. As the night continues, the clearing becomes a sanctuary of serene magic. Your body grows heavier with relaxation, your breathing slows, and your mind floats gently through the forest's secrets. The coziest Halloween magic, peaceful history, and subtle enchantment all merge into a single, calming experience. Follow the Scarecrow as he observes, as he absorbs, and as he becomes part of this magical tapestry. Let yourself drift further into tranquility, fully present in this hidden, serene world. Asterisk. The hidden clearing began to shimmer faintly as a soft, golden light emerged from the corner, spilling over moss-covered rocks and damp leaves. A solitary lantern, perhaps left behind by a traveler long ago, glowed warmly, its flame dancing with a gentle rhythm, casting playful shadows across the forest floor. The Scarecrow, standing among the wildflowers and fallen leaves, seemed to acknowledge the lantern's presence, his stitched eyes reflecting the soft illumination. The air itself felt warmer here, infused with a magical calm that invited quiet observation, deep breathing, and peaceful contemplation. Imagine, as you listen, the soft hum of the forest around you through wind rustling leaves, the gentle snapping of twigs under invisible paws, the distant call of an owl echoing softly. Each sound blends into a gentle, coziest melody, guiding your mind and body toward full relaxation. Your shoulders release tension, your arms feel light, and your body sinks further into the support beneath you. Each inhale brings serenity. Each exhale releases any lingering stress, carrying you deeper into this peaceable, magical woodland. The lantern's glow revealed small details that had been hidden in the moonlight. A path of worn stones, partially covered by moss and leaves, led deeper into the forest, as if guiding travelers through the mysteries of the night. Tiny mushrooms glimmered faintly at the base of ancient oaks, their caps catching slivers of light, creating a delicate, magical display. Perhaps this path had once been walked by children carrying small lanterns on Halloween night, or by townsfolk seeking quiet moments in nature, weaving their stories into the history of the forest. The Scarecrow, steadfast yet gentle, remained an observer of these subtleties, absorbing their quiet, coziest magic, while you, too, allow your mind to wander gently along this illuminated path. A faint breeze carried the hints of autumn spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, and roasted pumpkin mixing seamlessly with the earthy scent of the forest. These aromas, subtle yet familiar, evoke memories of cozy nights, soft blankets, and the warmth of family gatherings, You can imagine the quiet laughter of children long ago, echoing faintly among the trees, or the soft murmur of families sharing small stories beside lantern light. Each memory is a ghost of happiness, a fragment of peace, blending perfectly with the serene rhythm of the forest night. Let your imagination absorb these details, feeling a deep, calming connection to both history and nature. The creatures of the night continue their quiet dance around the Scarecrow and the glowing lantern. A fox pauses near the path, its fur brushed with the soft light, eyes curious yet calm. A black cat stretches along a fallen log, tail curling, ears alert, its presence adding a gentle sense of companionship. Above, an owl blinks slowly from a high branch, wings folding against the stillness of the night. Each subtle movement, each rustle, each soft sound contributes to a natural lullaby, a guided sleep meditation for your mind and body, coaxing you deeper into a restful, serene state. As the Scarecrow steps slowly along the mossy path, the lanterns glow, illuminating his way. The magic of the night seems to gather around him. The whispers of past choices, the faint echoes of celebrations, and the gentle presence of creatures all converge into a peaceful, coziest harmony. You are invited to follow, letting your imagination drift freely through the forest, observing and absorbing the calm, magical energy. Every breath, every heartbeat, every gentle rustle guides you further into this soothing journey, reinforcing a sense of serenity, comfort, and calm. The lantern's golden glow mingles with the silver moonlight, creating a coziest, magical ambience that wraps around the Scarecrow, the forest, and you. Let this gentle illumination fill your mind with peaceful imagery, each detail a tender lullaby, each shadow a soft companion, each sound a guide toward deeper relaxation. And as the story flows, allow yourself to move with it, drifting effortlessly into the quiet magic of the forest night. Your body relaxed, your mind calm, ready for the next part of this Halloween bedtime journey. The lantern's gentle glow faded slightly as the Scarecrow ventured further along the winding moss-covered path. The trees grew taller here, their trunks thick and gnarled, branches weaving together above. Like an ancient cathedral, shadows pooled in soft hollows along the forest floor, and the faint rustle of leaves created a rhythm that was both calming and slightly eerie. The Scarecrow's stitched eyes reflected this interplay of light and shadow, and in that quiet moment, the forest felt like a living memory, whispering its secrets softly to anyone willing to listen. You can imagine stepping lightly along this path, each footfall cushioned by a thick carpet of fallen leaves. Tiny animals moved carefully through the underbrush, their faint eyes glimmering in the muted light. A fox pauses to observe, its tail curling delicately. A black cat winds silently around the roots of a tree, whiskers twitching in curiosity. Even the owls perched high above blink slowly, their eyes reflecting centuries of quiet observation. Every sound, every subtle movement, every whispered rustle becomes part of a natural lullaby, drawing your mind and body deeper into a coziest state of relaxation, guided by the magic of the forest night. The Scarecrow paused beside a small creek, its waters shimmering silver under the moonlight. Tiny ripples danced along the surface, reflecting glimpses of the surrounding trees and the faint glow of scattered fireflies. You might hear the faintest murmur of the stream mingling with the soft wind, creating a gentle symphony that aligns perfectly with your own heartbeat. As you breathe slowly, feel the air fill your lungs with calm, releasing tension with each exhale. The forest, with all its coziest magic, becomes your sanctuary, a peaceful retreat where worries fade and imagination wanders freely among the shadows and moonlight. Ancient trees leaned slightly toward the creek, their roots forming natural alcoves and miniature bridges over the water. Perhaps long ago, villagers walked this path in quiet contemplation, pausing to admire the gentle trickle of the stream or leaving small tokens of gratitude. The echoes of such moments linger faintly, carrying lessons of care, patience, and the gentle flow of life. As the Scarecrow observes, he absorbs these subtle energies, grounding them in the present. You, too, can let your mind wander freely here, noticing the interplay of history, nature, and magic, feeling the peaceful, coziest energies settle around you like a soft blanket. Faint whispers drifted through the trees, almost voices, almost wind, almost memories. They speak not with fear, but with calm curiosity, drawing attention to the hidden corners of the forest. A fallen lantern softened by moss, a carved pumpkin lost among leaves, a tiny clearing glimpsed beyond a twisted oak. The Scarecrow senses these details as part of the night's gentle story, and as you follow, your body relaxes further, your mind letting go of any tension. The magical, calming energy of the forest guides your imagination, turning subtle shadows and flickering light into a soothing meditation for sleep. The creek winds slowly, carrying reflections of the moon and stars along its surface. Fireflies rise and fall in a gentle dance, casting golden flecks of light across the forest floor. The Scarecrow continues his quiet vigil, moving slowly, deliberately, and observing the coziest details of the world around him. You, too, drift through this scene, feeling your body grow heavier with each breath, every heartbeat harmonizing with the natural rhythm of the forest, the whispers of the woods, the faint rustle of leaves, the soft murmurs of water, all converge into a guided sleep story, easing your mind, calming your spirit, and preparing you for the final, serene moments of this chapter. And as the Scarecrow pauses to rest, letting the gentle energy of the forest envelop him, allow yourself to settle fully into this peaceful space. Feel the coziest warmth of the night, the magical history of the forest, and the calming rhythm of your own breath. Let the story's gentle whispers guide you deeper into rest, your mind and body completely relaxed, ready to follow the final part of this chapter, drifting effortlessly towards serene sleep. The moon had climbed high, its light silver and gentle, spilling through the skeletal branches like 1,000 whispered lullabies. The Scarecrow stood still beneath an ancient oak, its hat tilting slightly in the soft breeze. Around him, the night was peaceful, soothing in its rhythm, timeless in its stillness. This was not a night for fear, but for remembering, for letting go, for surrendering quietly to the passage of time. The forest exhaled a sigh of old stories and hidden warmth, and if you listen closely, you might feel the heartbeat of the earth itself beneath your feet. Take a slow breath now. Let your body soften into the mattress, your muscles melting into calm. With each inhale, imagine the cool autumn air, scented faintly of pumpkins and cedar. With each exhale, release every last thought or worry still clinging to you. This bedtime story is more than just a tale. It is a guided sleep meditation, a pathway into peace. The Scarecrow's world becomes your world. His quiet watch becomes your gentle dream. You are safe here, wrapped in the coziest silence of the forest, surrounded by the faint hum of wind and the golden glow of the final lanterns. Far in the distance, an old wooden bridge appeared, stretching across a small ravine. Its planks creaked softly under the Scarecrow's careful steps. Beneath it, water glimmered faintly, reflecting the pale moon. The night was hushed, almost reverent, as though the forest itself were holding its breath. And on the other side of that bridge, a field opened wide, a sea of tall wheat glowing faintly like embers in the moonlight. It was here, the Scarecrow realized, that the stories began and ended. He remembered the harvest festivals, the laughter of children, the faint smell of roasted corn and apple pie drifting through the cool air. He remembered how the villagers once left lanterns burning in the fields on All Hallows' Eve to honor the forgotten, to thank the spirits that watched over their crops. Over time, those lanterns became fewer. People left, and the fields fell silent, but the Scarecrow remained patient and faithful, guarding a world that had slipped quietly into memory. As you imagine this scene, feel the warmth of that memory, gentle, nostalgic, peaceful. Let it fill your heart with calm. The Scarecrow steps into the field, his straw hands brushing against the golden stalks. The soft rustle of wheat becomes a lullaby, a relaxing story whispered by nature itself. Fireflies drift lazily through the cool air, and the stars above shimmer faintly, like scattered seeds of light sown across the endless sky. In the center of the field, one last lantern flickered. Its light was faint but steady, casting a circle of golden warmth in the cool blue night. The Scarecrow approached, his shadow stretching long and thin. He paused before the lantern and bowed his head, not in sorrow but in gratitude, for all the years he had watched over this land, for all the quiet nights filled with whispers and wind, for all the unspoken dreams carried through generations. You might imagine kneeling beside him, feeling the faint heat of that lantern against your skin, the soft pulse of its glow sinking gently with your own heartbeat. A faint melody began to rise, almost too soft to hear. It was the hum of the earth, the sigh of distant memories, the coziest song of rest and renewal. The Scarecrow lifted his gaze toward the horizon, where dawn waited patiently, painting the edges of the world in amber light. And as the first trace of sunlight touched his straw hand, he smiled a small, timeless smile and whispered words that drifted like smoke. Every ending is only the beginning of another dream. Now, as you breathe deeply once more, let that dream become yours. Let the story guide you inward, where your own peace waits. The Scarecrow's journey may end here, But your sleep story continues soft, calm, and full of warmth. The forest fades. The lanterns, light, dims, and all that remains is the sound of your own slow breath and the steady rhythm of your heart. As the gentle music of the night dissolves into quiet, allow your thoughts to drift like autumn leaves on still water. The coziest calm wraps around you, magical and safe. Feel the weight of your eyelids, the softness of your pillow, the slowing of time itself. Let go completely. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep.